Welcome to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit, where we decode the high-octane crossroads of policy and performance. In April 2025, the US hit Chinese imports with a crushing 145% tariff, igniting a global economic gridlock. Containers piled up in ports from Shanghai to Guangdong, Amazon and Five Below hit the brakes on orders, and Boeing stock nosedived as China halted aircraft deliveries. From jammed cargo lanes to shaken industry giants, this is more than a trade scuffle. It's a seismic shift in global commerce. Let's dive into the tariff shocks, shipping snarls, and strategic pivots now reshaping the auto industry and beyond. Turbocharged tariffs, the first shockwave hits. What started as a policy maneuver exploded into a trade war detonation. In early April, the US slapped a stunning 145% tariff on a range of Chinese goods, from consumer tech to critical industrial components. China fired back, locking both sides into an economic drag race of retaliatory tariffs. Within days, major Chinese ports like Shanghai and Guangdong reported up to a 10% dip in cargo volume. That's not a blip. That's a seismic shift. US retailers reacted fast. Five Below told suppliers to pull the plug on deliveries, even returning containers already en route. Amazon axed orders, looking to avoid absorbing those brutal tariff costs. Now zoom in on the auto industry. Thousands of components, wiring harnesses, sensors, electronic modules that automakers count on from China are either stuck in port or hit with sudden price hikes. That means thinner margins and blown production timelines. The piston stops turning when the supply chain breaks down, and right now, it's misfiring badly. But port delays are only compounding the problem. Let's head to the docks and look at the next pressure point. Clogged ports, stalled progress. The aftermath of this tariff escalation is written all over China's ports. Container traffic has slowed to a crawl. By mid-April, not a single vessel was scheduled to depart for the US from the region's busiest docks. But this isn't just a bottleneck, it's a full-blown gridlock. Chinese exporters, fearing products will get slapped with tariffs or rejected outright, are holding back shipments. Warehouses are overflowing with goods that were bound for American markets. The just-in-time delivery model, a linchpin of modern auto manufacturing, is collapsing under the weight of unpredictability. For automakers, every missing component halts a production line. No sensors, no cars, no steering columns, no trucks. Multiply that delay across dozens of facilities, and the result is financial pain, with possible ripple effects like worker furloughs or vehicle delivery delays. And it gets worse. Shipping containers are now effectively stranded, jacking up freight costs, distorting global logistics, and throttling the already fragile post-pandemic recovery. Those increased logistics costs don't just eat into corporate profits, they risk trickling down into higher sticker prices for the end consumer. Before we delve deeper, do us a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps keep the gears turning here at Piston Pundit and fuels more updates just like this. Now that we've looked at stalled imports, let's shift gears to how major manufacturers and retailers are rethinking their entire strategy. Manufacturing reroutes and retailer reboots. Facing uncertainty, companies across the board are making evasive maneuvers. Amazon and Walmart are revamping sourcing strategies, pivoting towards Southeast Asia and other emerging manufacturing hubs. They're diversifying like never before, not just to beat tariffs, but to avoid being caught in the crossfire again. The auto sector is doing the same, or at least trying to. Some automakers are considering reshoring parts of their supply chains to North America or sourcing from Vietnam, India, or Mexico. But those transitions aren't quick. Requalifying a new supplier can take months, sometimes years, especially for safety-critical components. Complicating things further is the closure of the de minimis loophole, a policy that used to let goods under $800 enter the US tariff-free. That rule was a lifeline for e-commerce and aftermarket retailers, particularly for auto parts. Now, even small parts, brake pads, filters, LED headlights, could come with new duties, potentially shrinking margins and raising retail prices. But the roadblocks aren't just on the ground. Now let's take off, literally, and see how aviation is bracing for impact. Engines stall in the sky, aviation takes the hit. While retailers and car makers were the first to feel the sting of this tariff slugfest, the aviation sector is now caught in the downdraft. In direct response to the US's 145% tariff blow, Beijing has slammed the brakes on all Boeing aircraft orders and deliveries, grounding one of America's most high-flying export relationships. That's no minor turbulence. Boeing isn't just another aerospace firm. It's the largest exporter in the US, supporting 1.6 million jobs and playing a critical role in the nation's industrial backbone. Losing access to China, one of its most lucrative markets, is like losing an entire wing mid-flight, especially for a company still reeling from prior safety and financial setbacks. The markets reacted swiftly. Boeing stock dipped 3% overnight, spooked by the prospect of 55 unsold aircraft and a drying pipeline. And it's not just Boeing. This ripple is hitting the broader aerospace sector and shaking the scaffolding of global trade. But here's the twist for Piston Pundit followers. Aerospace isn't so far removed from the auto world. The same lightweight composites, precision electronics, and rare earth minerals used in jets are also essential to EVs and advanced vehicles. China's tightening grip on rare earth exports could throttle production across sectors, from electric cars to infotainment systems. So what's next? It's not just about short-term turbulence. It's about where we're headed long-term. Let's wrap it up by looking at the road ahead. Decoupling drives a new roadmap for trade. This isn't just a trade spat, it's a rewiring of the global supply grid. The US and China are no longer simply trading partners, they're strategic competitors reshaping their industrial destinies. Washington is now pursuing strategic decoupling, pushing to repatriate critical industries like semiconductors, EV batteries, and pharmaceuticals. Legislation such as the CHIPS Act and Inflation Reduction Act is revving up efforts to build domestic manufacturing horsepower. Meanwhile, friend-shoring initiatives aim to redirect supply lines through geopolitical allies. But for automakers, this pivot is a tight corner to navigate. Replacing Chinese suppliers isn't just a matter of swapping parts. It requires re-engineering entire supply networks, retraining vendors, and investing billions into new infrastructure. That's no small pit stop. And China, they're not idling. They're steering hard towards self-reliance, boosting local demand, and deepening ties with emerging markets. The world's largest factory is recalibrating, and that sends shockwaves across the auto sector. The real question now, are we shifting into a multipolar world of regional trade blocs? If so, global automaking as we know it may be in for a radical rebuild. Legacy strategies based on cost efficiency are now colliding with geopolitical uncertainty, and someone's going to have to pay for the adjustment. For car buyers, that could mean fewer choices, longer waits, and steeper prices on the dealer lot. Final lap. Where do we go from here? The road ahead is bumpy, and there's no quick downshift. From canceled container orders and idled factories to Boeing's grounded jets and EV part shortages, we're seeing more than market fluctuations. We're watching a global transformation unfold. Now it's your turn at the wheel. Do you think this trade war will permanently reshape how cars and parts are made and sold around the world? Should automakers lean into domestic sourcing, even if it means higher costs and longer development times? And how do you think all of this will affect the price and availability of the next car you buy? Let's hear your thoughts down in the comments. Real stories, real opinions, real drivers. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a beat in this fast-changing auto world. For more updates, insights, and powertrain breakdowns, keep coming back to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next video. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's plenty more to explore.